The fight nobody was asking for. But now nobody wants to miss. That's exactly what this is. When people were dreaming up big fights, they weren't thinking Crawford versus Canelo. One's a slick, technical fighter who dominated at 147 pounds. The other's a tank at 168 who crushes people to the body and shrugs off punches like he's made of steel. On paper, it didn't make sense. Different sizes, different divisions, different styles. But now, the second it got announced, it became the fight everyone's talking about. Terence Crawford is stepping up, not one, but two full weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez, one of the most powerful and experienced fighters in the world. It's not just a challenge, it's a risk most boxers wouldn't even consider, and that's why this is so exciting. This fight is about more than just belts. It's not about trash talk, viral moments, or social media hype. This is about legacy. This is two elite fighters meeting in the middle, not because they have to, but because they want to. And here's the twist. It's gonna be streaming live on Netflix. Yeah, you heard that right. No pay-per-view, no extra fees. Just open your Netflix, and you'll be watching one of the most high-stakes fights in years, right there on your couch. So if you're someone who only watches the big ones, this is one of those. The moment this fight was signed, it became one of the most unpredictable matchups in modern boxing. So who has the edge? Who's biting off more than they can chew? And is it even possible for Crawford to outthink a guy like Canelo, when that guy might be walking through his punches like it's nothing? We're about to get into all of that and more. Let's break down the wildest fight nobody asked for, but might just go down as one of the greatest we've ever seen. Alright, let's talk about Canelo Alvarez, the man, the myth, the red-headed wrecking machine. Canelo's been in the game since he was a teenager. He's got over 60 wins, only 2 losses. And he's held titles in multiple weight classes. Right now he's the undisputed champ at 168 pounds, which means he owns all the belts in that division. What makes Canelo dangerous? First off, his power, especially those body shots. If he hits you in the ribs, you're gonna feel it for a week. But it's not just brute strength, he's smart too. He picks his punches, controls the pace, and knows how to make fighters miss. He's also got one of the toughest chins in boxing. He took bombs from GGG and walked right through them. But he's not unbeatable. Canelo's had trouble with slick, fast-moving fighters before. Think of his loss to Dimitri Bivol. If he can't trap you and land those heavy shots, he can fall behind on points. So the big question for this fight is, can he catch Crawford and make those punches count? Because if he does, it's lights out. Now let's talk about the guy trying to shock the world. Terence "Bud" Crawford. He's undefeated. 41 wins, 0 losses. That's no joke. He's been a champ at 135, 140, and 147 pounds. And he didn't just win belts, he cleaned out divisions. What makes Crawford special? This dude is a master at adapting. He can fight right-handed or southpaw, switch mid-fight, and completely throw his opponents off. He's got timing, accuracy, and he's patient. He doesn't just throw punches, he studies you, figures you out, then picks you apart. Just look at what he did to Errol Spence. He made one of the best welterweights in the world look lost in there. Now, here's the challenge. Canelo's a lot bigger. Crawford's jumping up 2 weight classes, which means he's giving up size, power, and maybe even durability. But Crawford's not coming to just survive. He wants to win. If he can stay sharp, stay moving, and keep Canelo guessing, he might just pull off something legendary. Alright, now let's talk about what everyone wants to know. Who's actually expected to win this thing? Right now most of the betting sites have Canelo as the favorite. Depending on where you look, he's around minus 200, which basically means you'd have to bet $200 just to win $100. Meanwhile, Crawford is the underdog, sitting around plus 160 to plus 180, so if you bet $100 on him and he wins, you'd make a nice chunk of cash. But odds don't always tell the full story. They're based on a mix of public opinion, past performances, and let's be real, Canelo's star power. So let's break it down. Canelo's edge is his size, strength, and experience at 168 pounds. He's used to fighting bigger, heavier hitters. He's been in high-pressure fights for years, and when he lands clean, especially to the body, it's brutal. But don't count out Crawford. A lot of boxing experts say he's got the skills to outbox Canelo. He's faster, sharper, and honestly, his fight IQ might be the best in the game right now. He's not just a slick mover, he's a problem solver. You make a mistake, he adjusts, and he makes you pay for it. He figures opponents out while they're still throwing jabs. Some insiders even think Crawford is being underestimated here, just because he's smaller. But remember, he's done this before. He moved up from 135 to 140 and dominated, then from 140 to 147 and dominated again. Now yes, 168 is a different beast. But Crawford isn't jumping in blind. He knows exactly what he's up against. So what's the prediction? If Canelo can cut off the ring, slow Crawford down, and land those signature shots, he could win by decision, or even late stoppage. But if Crawford can stay slick, avoid the big punches, and keep moving, he could pull off the upset and win on points. Honestly, this one's a coin flip disguised as a mismatch. It's brains versus brawn. A chess match with knockout power. That's why people are hyped. It's not just about who's stronger or faster, it's about who's smarter on fight night. So yeah, this could go either way, and that's what makes it so exciting. But now I've got to ask you, who are you backing? Are you Team Canelo, the power-punching legend, or Team Crawford, the undefeated technician with ice in his veins? Drop it in the comments. I want to see who you're riding with. Let's be real. There are a lot of boxing matches every year, but this is different. First off, it's not just two great fighters, it's two undisputed champions. That almost never happens. You've got Canelo, the face of boxing for the past decade. He's done it all, moved up in weight, unified belts, fought legends. He's the guy with the flashy entrances and the heavy hands. Then there's Crawford, the guy boxing purists love. He's quiet, doesn't talk much, but he lets his fists do all the talking. His skills are so sharp, it feels like he's playing chess while the other guy's still reading the rulebook. But what really makes this fight stand out is the risk. Neither guy had to do this. Canelo could have stayed at 168 and defended his belts against safer opponents. Crawford could have stayed at 147, where he was basically untouchable. Instead, they're both stepping into unknown territory, because legacy matters to them. They don't just want to be champions, they want to be remembered. And the stage, it's massive. Streaming on Netflix, promoted by Riyadh Season, with global reach and new fans tuning in who maybe have never watched boxing before. This could change the way fights are promoted, streamed, and watched. It's not just a boxing match, it's a statement. A power move. A once-in-a-generation kind of moment, where we get to see the best fight the best. No politics, no ducking, just greatness, colliding. This fight's not about money or belts anymore, it's about history. Alright, let's break it down. If you're wondering how either guy actually pulls off the win, here's what each of them needs to do on fight night. Let's start with Canelo. For Canelo to win, it's all about pressure and power. He needs to cut off the ring, stop Crawford from dancing around and force those close-range exchanges. He's got that slow stalking style, he walks you down like a tank. If he can get Crawford to stand still for even a second, those body shots come into play. And trust me, Canelo's bodywork is brutal. If he lands enough to the ribs early on, Crawford's movement could slow down by the middle rounds. Canelo doesn't throw a million punches, but the ones he does throw, they count. If he starts timing Crawford's rhythm, he'll look to land those signature counter punches. The key for Canelo: stay patient, stay composed, land clean, make Bud feel the weight difference every single round. Now, what about Crawford? Crawford's entire game plan is built on movement, timing, and intelligence. He's got to stay light on his feet and never let Canelo set his feet to punch. The more Crawford can control distance, the better. He's not going to win a slugfest in close range, so he needs to use that slick jab, move laterally, change angles, and keep Canelo guessing. One of Bud's biggest advantages is how quickly he adjusts. If Canelo comes out aggressive, Crawford will download that info like a machine and flip the strategy mid-fight. He's done it before. Just ask Errol Spence. And don't forget, Crawford's a switch hitter. He can go from orthodox to southpaw smoothly. That's a nightmare for someone like Canelo, who prefers a more predictable rhythm. Crawford doesn't need a knockout to win. He just needs to win rounds, stay out of danger, and make Canelo swing and miss more than he connects. So in short, Canelo wins if he turns it into a war. Crawford wins if he turns it into a chess match. Whoever controls the style of the fight, that's probably who's walking away with the win. Alright, so here we are. Canelo versus Crawford. Two champions, two very different styles. One massive fight that's got the whole boxing world buzzing. On one side you've got Canelo, the powerful pressure fighter who's been king at 168. He's got the experience, the crowd, the heavy hands, and he's used to battling big names under bright lights. On the other side you've got Crawford, the undefeated technician who's moving up not just to compete but to make a statement. He's got the speed, the brain, and the kind of confidence you can't fake. The beauty of this fight is that neither guy is afraid to take risks. They didn't have to do this, but they're doing it anyway. Why? Because they're chasing legacy. This isn't just another boxing match. This is one of those rare events we'll be talking about for years. Win or lose, both fighters are putting it all on the line. And for us fans, we just get to sit back and witness something special. So now the question is, what do you think is going to happen? Will Canelo break Crawford down with power and pressure? Or will Crawford school him with movement and ring IQ? Hit the comments and give me your prediction. Decision, knockout, upset of the decade, let me know. And if you're feeling bold, tell me what round it ends in. And hey, if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, it really helps if you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future videos. Whether you're Team Canelo or Team Crawford, this is a fight you don't want to miss. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.